Our speaker today is Romeo Bugay, co-owner of IT Consortium. Romeo once got so flustered about a meeting that he kept driving his car in circles. When a colleague asked why he wasn't going in, Romeo admitted that he was looking for his phone, only to realize he was talking on it the whole time. With a story that ranges from those humble beginnings to building a multi-million-dollar business, Romeo's experiences are rich with insights and lessons. Let's unpack Romeo's hustle.
My name is Romeo Bugay. I work with IT Consortium. A lot of people have known IT Consortium over the years in this country. And a lot of people are here to listen to what I have to talk about in terms of how things have transformed within the industry of Ghana when it comes to payment, and especially mobile money. So IT Consortium started in 2001 by three friends, Ebo, Jojo, and Ato. A year after, they got me involved. And I remember Ebo coming to me, a long-time friend, and talking to me how I could help with what they have started. Here I was actually working for a company, and I'm comfortable. I mean, I was a senior executive. I didn't have much to worry about. And I have worked through my life climbing the ladder. And at this point, it was just a bit risky for me to just do that. So upon reflection, I decided that, okay, I'll give my shot to it, but I'll start with being a part-time leader of the team, which I did for a while. And then during that time, it was obvious that the company was not really moving. So we had stagnated for a very long time. And really, we didn't really know what was happening. But in order to turn things around, I decided to change the model of financing revenue of the company. At that time, we had only one product, and which is a school management system that we're managing with schools. And so I decided that we should shift from CAPEX to transaction. That time, transactional-based system was not that popular. I didn't even know that there was anything called software as a service. But that is what the idea that we brought to be able to do that. And so we changed the revenue model, and that allows us to be able to broaden the base of the company. So we started getting a bit of revenue. And then we also move ahead to establish a platform that was actually used to be able to link our systems from the school to the banks. I remember once I walked to a company that we're trying to pitch here in Ghana, a bank, and the MD I heard say that my daughter at home can even do it. And they just walked us out. But we had faith in what we're doing and pursued it. So with the new platform that we created, which eventually the banks linked to it, brought the first, what do you call it, collection platform in Ghana, linking almost all the banks to it. For us, that was the basis for how collection actually started in this country, where we linked our student management system with what was happening at the bank. So that actually helped us. Then along the line, mobile money came in. And when mobile money came in, we actually were called to come and help. How do you solve problem on mobile money? Remember, that time, mobile money was just P2P. There was no e-commerce on it. And so with that, we set off to try to think about what to do. But looking back, I realized that the company, after stagnating for a very long time, most companies that we have actually helped to come in as startups then were rather getting traction in the market as compared to IT Consortium. So at that point, I took a decision that I was going to resign. And how do I move from a comfortable life, no issue, nice family, move to a place where there is no certainty? And I'm sure a lot of people here might actually identify with some. So to be able to do that, I took time to talk to some of my mentors. And I shared my experience. And I remember I visited one of my mentors in his house, and he told me exactly his story, how he had gone through the same thing. And after listening to him, I went home and discussed with my wife. I remember the first time I told my wife about it, I was in Seattle attending a conference. And I called her and I said, "Dear, this is what I want to do." And he said, "Please hold on, come back home and let's talk about it." And when I came, the story changed, so I couldn't move. But at some point, I realized that the desire in me to continue to do this was actually there. So after the targets, the KPIs my wife gave me fulfilled, I decided to move. And that brought a lot of dynamism in what we now see in Ghana. Looking back and looking at my team, at the point, there are so many people that were coming into the ecosystem. And unfortunately, after a stagnation of a long while, my team, the friends that I joined, had begun to have this concept about themselves that everything is better than what we had here. But I knew that was not true. And so to be able to change from a product that was giving us virtually nothing, that is what we have built on the mobile money platform. I remember our first 2 years, our revenue was less than 1,000. And how do you manage a company where the whole year all you made was 1,000? And somebody actually told us that even the agent on the street makes more money than you. What are you doing here? But we knew where we wanted to go. And I knew that this was the future and not what people were talking about. So I actually set up first to change the mindset of my team. Changing the mindset of my team. And how do I achieve that? And to be able to do that, I needed to build an environment that exuded confidence. And so the first thing I tried to do was to build infrastructure that will help them think differently about themselves. And it was not just about having a nice place, but having an organization structure that actually exudes confidence. So I set up the infrastructure of the company in a way that is systematic, predictable, that helps people to think far and be able to do what I really wanted to achieve with this company. So apart from changing their mindset, I needed to build this infrastructure that I was visioning. And remember, I've been in a corporate environment for a very long time, so I have some ideas. But I knew that that was not going to be enough. So I decided to take a course that actually helps you to understand how a company should work, all the system that you needed in place to be able to do that. And so this training program, which was very, very helpful, I managed also to bring some of my colleagues into that training program. This is Stanford Seed training program, and to help them think differently about themselves and about what we're trying to build. So in building this infrastructure in the company, I made it very clear to everybody that for us to be able to move from zero to the millions that we envisage to affect lives in this country, we need to keep our focus on one thing: structure. So the first thing was to set up an advisory board for the company. And I remember that time when I shared with some of my friends, some of them wondered why I needed that, because too many people will be looking into what we're trying to do. But I said that for us to be able to move to the millions, we need to have structures that will help us so that we don't crash. Because if you don't have structures, you will crash. You will start growing, but you will crash. So with that set in place, with the corporate governance that I set in place, I put myself under authority, which enabled me to be able to also draw them along so that we have responsibility, to have somebody that we account to. And with that, I decided that we needed to have the various departments set apart to bring what we call accountability. Accountability because for you to be able to drive and be able to grow, which I've seen a number of companies in this country and beyond collapse because of lack of accountability, I decided that every rule that I set, I was going to put myself under it. To that point that even the spending of money that I could let it pass, I will not, I'll pay for it. And I made it so transparent that everybody knew that that was what I was doing. Then to the staff, I decided that I want this company to be as transparent as possible. So I took a decision that every quarter, we will give an account of the company to the staff. So we had an open forum where I gave an account, financial, technical, everything. And then staff are allowed to ask me questions and ask my managers questions. That really turned things around because then you were able to bring the staff also along. But through all these things, remember, the money wasn't coming. The only thing that was sustaining us was the student management system that we had started, which was about 9 years stagnating. How do you continue with this if you are going to turn this thing around? So the next structure that we had to put in place was what I consider partnership. So first, mobile money has come. First 2 years, $1,000 a year. Second, people did not have confidence in what we were doing, but I still was adamant that this is where we wanted to go. So after bringing all these things together, what we needed was tools that allowed us to be able to sell quickly. The partnership that we created on trust. And you can ask any bank in this country. We built trust with MTN, the biggest operator. We built banks with trust with all the banks, to the point that most of our businesses came through referrals. And it came through referrals because of trust. We were willing to do things even if it would cost us more to maintain trust. Initially, it was not possible to make the money, but I tell you, within a very short time, things started turning around. Transaction base of 120,000 then turned to 8 million and beyond. And it is because of trust, integrity, focus, and consistency. We stuck to it because we believed in what we were doing. But I'll be a liar if I don't tell you that I was scared. I'll be a liar if I don't tell you that I was frustrated. There were times that I felt so down that I felt like quitting. I remember the first time one of my partners called me. I was in my bedroom, just about sleeping, and he said, "Romeo, there's a problem." And I said, "What?" He said, "Some people have taken money." And I said, "How much?" And he says, "Over 2 million. This is not gone now. This will be close to about $1.5 million. And it was gone. And I remember I just sat down on the floor and I prayed. And I told God that He has not brought me here to disgrace me, because He has promised me that He will never bring me to disgrace. So I took myself, I met my team, and I told them that we will turn this thing around. We did not borrow. Through wits and wisdom, we were able to pay all this back. So in this journey of entrepreneurship, it might not be a big idea that just dropped into your head, but it could be partnership with people that allows you to be able to create wealth. I always talk about the system that we have put in place that has actually helped us to be able to touch the heart of people. And that is ensuring that the people who use our system are happy and they build wealth for themselves. In this journey of entrepreneurship, there can be difficulties. But for me, the most important thing is stay focused, be consistent in what you are doing, and at the end of the day, you will pull through. It might not be the millions, but you will pull through. As Warren Buffett said, leadership is our ability to turn a vision into a reality. Thank you very much.